This podcast is supported by FedEx. FedEx offers fast delivery, more visibility, simple returns, and weekend home delivery to 98% of the U.S. population on Saturday and 50% on Sunday. With FedEx, you get picture proof of delivery, ensuring you always know where your package is. Returns are simple with packageless and paperless returns. Plus, FedEx Ground is also faster to more locations than UPS Ground. See the FedEx service guide for delivery information. So, what are you waiting for? See what FedEx can do for your business. Absolutely, positively FedEx.
Welding instructor Alex DeClaire knows VR training platforms like Forge FX help students master their skills.
There's a big learning curve with welding. Virtual reality simulates that exact muscle memory that they need.
Learn more at meta.com/metaverseimpact.
Whether you're searching for a home to buy or you're just obsessed with looking at homes for sale, Redfin's got you covered. Redfin updates their listings every 2 minutes and gives personalized recommendations based on the homes that you like, so you can find the home that's just right for you. You can favorite homes, share listings with others, and even schedule tours with a local Redfin agent, all in the app. When you're ready to buy, an experienced local Redfin agent can guide you through the whole process, and they know how to help you win the right home at the right price. So download the Redfin app to get started today.
Hi everyone, welcome back. This is part 2 of a 2-part recap. If you're wondering where part 1 was, well, go check in the feed and be sure to subscribe. Let's get right back into the episode.
Jesse's like, yeah, I mean, there's a disconnect, because I did this no drinking fasting thing for 5 days, and I don't know, I lost like 12 pounds. And that's the first time she's given me a compliment in like, I don't know. Okay, so he's trying to make it sound like, oh, so I lost a little weight, so she was suddenly nice to me. No, you weren't fucking wasted all day, dude. Like, don't you think that might have something to do with her giving you a compliment as well?
Like, and then she's like, well, I could say the same thing about you, because not only do you not give me a compliment ever in your life, if I ask you, like, do I look nice? Like, I got a new dress or my hair or whatever, and it's time to go out, you're like, you're fine. And, like, if I'm going to, like, I like that he's trying to act like he's the victim in this, that he doesn't get enough positive feedback when, like, everything we've seen from this guy is that he is the biggest dick on this show. Like, I'm sorry. I don't believe it. I do not believe him as a victim in this marriage.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's gross. So then the guy's like, so when was the last time you were sexually attracted? She's like, ew. And he's like, oh God, it's been like 3 years and 9 months before she's felt any attraction, right? And she's like, it's been a while. So then Jesse's like, yeah, what even is sex? Oh yeah, I guess I saw Pornhub the other day, which I'm so jealous because Texas has gotten rid of that. So
that's so wild that Texas has banned Pornhub. That is so wild.
What's so crazy about it? They didn't ban Pornhub. They just made all these laws that all the porn sites are shutting down for Texas because they're trying to get your information in order to sign onto these sites or something. It's like a privacy violation. Like it's a right to privacy violation. So all these porn sites are shutting down. But what's so wild about it is you guys don't want people to have reproductive rights. It's like you don't want people fucking, but you also don't want them masturbating. Do you just want all of our heads popping off? Like, what exactly do you want us to do? Do you just want us all waking up with fucking stained sheets? I mean, what is the goal? I just don't understand.
I think at this point, all the porn's on Twitter. I think that's just where it is. So,
but it's so short. I need a storyline. I can't just have some penis, I'm sorry, this is disgusting. No one signed up for this conversation, but it's like Twitter porn is just so short form. I don't just need a penis. I need like, I'm here to fix your water's out. Or
I know, I love the narrative in porn. I'm all the porn that's on Twitter is very much like, here's someone just like wagging their dick around on OnlyFans.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I like the plumber comes in, the whole thing. That's always so fun for me.
I don't need just it's a guy sitting on a traffic cone. I need to know why he's on the traffic cone. Was he trying to get somewhere and there were road workers in the way and then he was really frustrated and they talked him down by sitting him on a traffic cone? I mean, that's hot, but just can't just, I need a story. Look at my dog. He's like, oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. So
I'm calling a meeting to session.
He is. He's like, we need
Chairman
to get back on track here.
Chairman Bueller. Bueller is our CEO, by the way. I don't know if anyone realizes this, but Bueller's our boss. Bueller's like, what are you two doing? You represent a company.
And the fact that he doesn't know a lot of English explains why we still have a job, both of us.
So Jesse, back to this therapy session. Jesse's like, okay, let's say I only see the positives. And I say, oh, you look beautiful today. Oh, I love that dress on you. Oh, this. Oh, that. Is there a point where like, okay, I've been a great guy now for 2 months and you're still not treating me well? And Scott's like, but you know what though? Your attachment to the result is going to cause you to fail. Sort of like what you're trying to do with your hair right now. Like stop going to sleep with your headband.
So this guy looks perplexed. He's like, what? And Michelle goes, yeah, because it's not genuine. And Scott says, yeah, you're supposed to do it because you want to do it. And he's like, I don't understand what you're saying.
I'm supposed to want to be nice to my wife? What?
Yeah, it's like, that's disgusting. And he's like, yeah, if you're just trying to get something out of her, she's going to sniff that out, And Jesse's just looking at him like, okay, you get paid for this? you get paid for this? You fucking woman sympathizer. You literally make a living from this?
And then Scott goes, it's showing up kind. It's warmth towards her. So she starts to cry and Jesse's like, why are you crying? I'm like, see, that's not warmth or showing up.
You're not listening.
Kindly.
So now we go to Jason and Janet's and she's like, I'm like pregnant. So like, I want McDonald's. And he's like, but babe, we've got a full fridge. Okay. There's a divorce. I told you this guy was evil. This guy pretends he's so fucking nice. This is the kind of things he says. But the fridge is full. I would divorce anybody who said that at any time.
Yeah. I really like Janet a lot. I feel like I could hang with Janet. Like, I feel like I could just like talk shit with her. I thought I was going to hate her. I thought she was going to be the worst of them all, but she's the one I like the most so far. No?
I don't know. I don't, what's so weird? I don't really dislike anybody on the show yet. You probably couldn't tell from the way I talk about it. I mean, Jesse, maybe, Jesse? But I mean, Jax obviously, but Jesse, I mean, I don't think he's great, but I think I'm just so excited to have a good show on TV that right now I like them all.
You just gotta embrace them all. But you can still embrace them all and have a favorite. And so I think right now Janet is my favorite. But I think it may be influenced by the fact that she wants to get McDonald's, and I've been craving McDonald's for like a week, but I've been trying to eat healthy because my inner Jason has been telling me to eat healthy, and my inner Janet's been telling me to go to McDonald's, and I'm listening to Jason right now.
Wow, Jason's such an asshole. Listen, I wish I was around Jason right now so I could explain to him. Do you know why the refrigerator is full, Jason? Because it's full of shit I don't want to eat. Now go to fucking McDonald's. I'm giving this baby up.
I've been eating lentils. So, although I did have a lot of pasta last night, I'm not gonna lie. So anyway, they're talking about the baby coming and everything, and like the baby's gonna sleep. He's like, the baby's gonna sleep next to us for like the first 6 months in a bassinet. And she goes, well, I hope so. Otherwise the baby's gonna be like sleeping. And he goes like, what do you mean? I hope so. What are you gonna say? Like, no to the baby being in the bassinet?
And she's like, I don't want it sleeping right on top of us. Get me some fucking McDonald's, basically. So they're talking about how they gotta get the nursery done. And then the McDonald's is delivered. And I think that's why you like them. Because I think you like the privilege of Uber Eats delivering McDonald's.
Something about her McDonald's.
That's your porn right there.
It is. Like,
simple things being delivered.
Simple. I was like, yeah. Like I literally, you know what? Like yesterday, like at 6 p.m., I was like, you know what I need? I needed some more of those cube chargers. Okay, I'm going to throw it onto my Amazon order. I went out to game night. I came back at 1 a.m. They were there on my doorstep already. I was like, God, I love when a simple thing gets delivered way ahead of time.
I love simple things being delivered. I'll sometimes split up the delivery just so I can get things more often.
I do that with McDonald's. Like what'll happen is on Monday I'll get the bun, and then on Tuesday I'll get the patty, and then on Thursday I'll get the other bun, and by Friday I can eat most of it.
God, we just love our capitalism, don't we? I love that we're reveling in this on the Republican episode of this series. Like, God, I just love what do they call it? Where you consuming things. I just love consumerism.
Reaganomics is back. I have to
drip down, bitch. Drip down.
Anyway, what are we? I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
McDonald's. It's basic people talking about McDonald's. So then we go to talking about the Kristen of it all. And she's like, I woke up like feeling like exhausted today because like Kristen, I'm just like, I don't know, like I'm confused. And then today, like she posted on her story, she posted, I would rather adjust my life to your absence than adjust my boundaries to accommodate your disrespect. I love that Kristen posts shit in sentence structures she could never use in a million years. I've never heard Kristen talk like that.
I also love Janet like getting offended by this meme, not realizing that this is Kristen, and like this was actually probably Kristen reacting to her own Uber Eats delivery that didn't show up. Oh, really? Hey, Uber Eats, I would rather adjust to my life in your absence than adjust my boundaries to accommodate your disrespect. Caw-caw.
The super was late to fix her sink.
A bird hit her
Hannah's
window.
taking it all seriously. So Jason's like, but wait, why do you think she feels disrespected? Do you think that she feels like, I don't know, your salad makings, your salad fixings in a refrigerator just waiting to be chopped up and eaten? Well, the person who bought you is actually ordering fast food on the internet.
I don't know. But like, you know what? You threw me under the bus. You threw Michelle under the bus, Zach under the bus, Jasmine under the bus. We're all under the bus. Why were we all standing in the middle of the road? That's a different story. But whatever, all in one swoop. And I said something small, just a teeny weeny little thing. Michelle's just like Republican and racist. And Kristen made it so big. She just didn't run with it. I mean, she like ran a marathon with it. She ran a marathon, but also drove a bus and drove us over it. She was running a marathon inside a bus that drove us over us, and we were the spectators to the marathon. Are my metaphors making sense to anyone else?
So they were talking about the don't say gay laws in Florida, right?
Right.
So apparently Michelle said something like, those laws don't hurt children. Someone said those laws hurt children or something. Yeah. Oh, no. Wait, what was it?
Janet says that they were talking because this brain trust was having a discussion about politics, and Michelle said, "Oh, don't say gay laws protect children," and Janet was like, "No, you're wrong." So that's where it came from. So then Janet
protect children. Okay, well,
Right.
Listen, that's enough for me. If you believe in don't say gay laws, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
and that's the end of it. Normally, we don't love talking about politics on this show because it's you just shouldn't. Everybody's from a different political whatever. That's fine. But this is a pretty bad one. Don't say gay. Do you know how far that can be taken and used against people who are gay, who happen to have something on their Facebook or who have something on their Twitter or who can have their entire lives ruined because of fucking religious fanatic assholes. So fuck you guys and fuck Michelle for fucking saying that. Fuck her. And I don't know why everybody's going around defending her. Like, how could you say that she said that? If she said it, then fuck her. Then she needs to get rolled out on the mat like everybody else does on this show. Why is Kristen still? Well, I know why Kristen is, and she deserves that too, by the way. But we know why Kristen's still getting it on this show, and no one's complaining about that. They all feel fine turning it against Kristen at the end of this show. So make it fair. Ask Michelle why if she said it and why she said it. I would love to know.
They should. And so Janet then is basically actually kind of she's trying to like sort of mollify it, saying, well, I never thought that she was racist or homophobic. I just thought she got like swept into an algorithm when she was, researching Stop the Steal. And, like...
I mean, who likes stealing? Am I right? No one likes stealing.
By the way, who gets swept into an algorithm about don't say gay, and then it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna read this. This is great. Okay, it's like that doesn't happen by accident. But either way, Janet still says, listen, I think she got swept into an algorithm, and she maybe went down a path, and she just needed to be like educated and adjusted and whatever. It's like, well, okay, if you do believe that, like if one of my dear friends did go down a path like that, I don't think if I was concerned about them and I wanted to make sure they were educated, I then wouldn't go like talk to the gossipy people in my group and be like, by the way, did you hear so-and-so now totally believes in QAnon? You know, because it's like, if you're trying to protect them, if you're trying to go from a place of like, I want to bring them back in. But Janet's like saying she got swept up into an algorithm, but then she goes and tells everyone, by the way, did you hear about this? So she's kind of playing both sides.
She's playing, but she doesn't want to get in trouble for being the one to tell on this girl. But she is still anti this girl because it's obviously a stupid thing to say, or it's obviously something she doesn't agree with. You know what I mean? And as far as having people in your life who don't think the same as you, we all do, and we can all pretend like, oh, everybody I know thinks just like me, and I'm the only people I'll speak to think just like me. I'm from a very conservative Christian family. I hear this shit all day long, and I know that the Fox News brainwashes them. Like some of the shit that comes out of their mouths sometimes is ridiculous. Like the conversations I've had to have over the past few years are brain numbing, honestly. Like they really have people believing that drag queens are coming in and teaching them all like the C word and like, you know, how to do circus sex acts on each other. I mean, it's just fucking crazy the things that they're being told and the things that they're believing. You know what I mean? So I feel like most of us have to have these conversations in our lives. And people shouldn't be going around apologizing for people who believe those things. Tell me what you believe and let's have a talk about it. You know what I mean? It's better than the alternative, which is this, everybody hand wringing and like, oh my God, I can't believe I just called some. You know what's worse? Ruining gay people's lives.
Yeah.
Over stupid fucking ignorant religious laws.
And
That's
by
worse.
the way, and there's no flat out denials about any of the stuff that was said about Michelle. Actually, to be fair, this is all what Janet is saying that Michelle said. So everything that has been up for debate is whether or not Janet actually said this. We don't actually know what Michelle's. No, we don't actually know what Michelle said. To be fair, we don't know. Like I'm just joking.
True. Before I go off on Michelle, I guess that is
we only
part
know
of
what
it.
The point is that like what the whole issue is that Janet said these things, and Janet at first is like, I never said that, but then has now said, well, no, I said this thing, and then Zach is like, I never said that. I mean, I said it, but I never said it like that. So like, it's really about Janet right now, and we haven't gotten to like, did Michelle say these things and believe these things?
Right. Okay, so Jason's like, well, in the future, maybe be cautious with anything that can potentially get to Kristen. She's like, yeah, no shit, Jason.
So don't say anything on the show.
Yeah. So she's like, yeah, there's going to need to be an apology. And if she's not receptive, then I'm going to need a break from her. So now is a Capri party. Michelle and Jesse are getting ready to throw this Italy party in one of their big listing mansions.
Yeah.
And everyone's excited to go because it's like a $20 million house. Janet Zillowed it.
Yeah. So, they're all, this is, by the way, way too fancy a house for this show. This is, there's no reason for these people to be, they should be in a bungalow off of Laurel Canyon Boulevard right now. You know, Laurel Canyon and Victory Boulevard in the valley, not in some mansion overlooking the city right now. This is off-brand.
So Jesse and Michelle are getting ready, and he's like, this is an important night for me, okay? We're doing a Capri theme. And she's like, for you, for us, this is our party. And you're wearing a suit. And he goes, it's important to me because you don't love Capri as much as I do. Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize that your love for Capri was like a very important thing. I didn't realize this
I
was
wish your
something that had to be
therapist was here
revered.
to see how you're defending Capri the way your wife would like you to speak to her one time in your marriage.
You are nicer to an island that doesn't give a shit about you and that you don't fit in with than you are to your wife.
You only like that island because it's similar to the kind of pants you're trying to pull off constantly.
So he's like, we're about to throw this extremely expensive party at this beautiful listing that we have, and it's going to be an homage to the island that I have fallen in love with. I call it Not Michelle Island. Every year we go to Capri in Italy. In case you don't know where that is, dumbasses. It has Michelin-star restaurants. It has the best hotels. And if you want to go to a place where all the billionaires have their yachts parked, because that's you want to go there because that's who you're gonna sell to, man. I'm like, okay. Just go to the booth
I
at
love
Beppo
people
and
like
then
this.
Encino.
I love people. He's like sitting with his, he's doing that like arm on the back of his chair. Like, let me tell you where you go if you really want to meet a billionaire. You're a salesman. You're not a billionaire. You know what I mean? If he was like some billionaire sitting there like, huh. Speaking of politics, I'm George Soros. I'm on a yacht planning to ruin all of the Republicans' lives. That's one thing. But just to be like, wow, I know where billionaires go, so I can ding dong them and try and sell them some real estate. Okay.
Jesse is finally using all the material he's been aching to put on camera for the past 10 years. He's probably been auditioning for $1 Million Listing. He's like, finally, I can do my spiel. So, by the way, there's something about like being a high-end realtor, and then being stuck on this show, The Valley, that just does not work. Like dreams of being on Selling Sunset or Buying Beverly Hills or $1 Million Listing, but he's stuck as like a side character on a show that has like a country fair in Jax's backyard.
Yeah.
That's a rough life.
Welcome to the juxtaposition.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
I normally find bras to be so uncomfortable and constricting, but Skims has changed that. You know I love Skims underwear, so I finally tried their bras, and Skims has delivered again. Skims bras are worth the hype for the amazing shape and support they give, but what I wasn't expecting was how comfortable they are too. I've tried so many bras in the past, and the main issue that I have is that they weren't supportive enough, to the point where they felt slouchy. I love my Skims wireless form bra because it's so comfortable and supportive. The older I get, the more I care about actually being comfortable in what I wear every day. And with my wireless form bra, I no longer have to sacrifice my comfort for the support I need. Shop Skims bras at skims.com, now available in 62 sizes, 30A to 46H. Plus, get free shipping on all orders over $75. If you haven't yet, be sure to let them know we sent you. After you place your order, select Podcast in the survey, and select our show in the drop-down menu that follows.
So then we go over to, they're basically just nagging each other. He's like, can we try and enjoy ourselves tonight? She's like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he's like, it's not a party. This is sophisticated. She goes, stop saying sophisticated so much. It doesn't make you sound sophisticated. He's like, but it is sophisticated. She's like, but if it wasn't, you wouldn't have to say it. Okay. I hate you both, honestly. Even though I know that I'm signed up for this show and this is what I'm going to be getting. This is like Kyle and Amanda. This is our new Kyle and Amanda on a different night of the week.
I know. So then we go over to Jax and Brittany, and Jax is wearing tight pants. He's like, tight pants is what they wear in Italy, right? Like, the only Capri I know is Capri Suns. Oh, Jax! You're a cool guy, Jax. You're a cool guy.
Don't you love that Capri Sun made a double appearance tonight? Because Sheena got one on Vanderpump Rules too. It's like, I love Capri Sun.
Capri Sun is really cleaning up on Bravo. So now
Big
we go
night for Capri Suns.
Yeah, now we go to Danny and Nia's house, and Nia's like, honey, that's like not the look. It looks cheap. Like, it doesn't even look like you're from Italy, huh? And he's like, I love cheap. I'm so glad you're back home. I was like, yeah, I was falling asleep while I was doing all the things because I was like so tired.
And he's like, the kids wouldn't stop screaming. I mean, I had 3 under 2. It was crazy. And she goes, yeah, well, I think while they were screaming, I was having a chocolate martini in the lobby. Don't worry, I was pumping at the same time.
So now we're at the party, and so Jesse and Michelle are taking selfies, and Zach and Jasmine and Jasmine's girlfriend Melissa are riding in the party together, and Jasmine's like, your outfit actually looks kind of Greek. He's like, yeah, I think it's like I'm an American tourist in Italy. Like, I'm ready for food though. Like, I'm so hungry today.
So then Jasmine talks about her girlfriend and how her girlfriend graduated with her brother. And when she moved to LA, they were like comfort for each other. And then she's just a fluid person. But since we have to have a label, I guess she's bisexual now. So then everybody arrives at the party and they're mingling. and making small talk about linen, etc. And Jax is like, I fucking hate dressing up. Not only do I have to dress up, it has to be linen. The fuck?
Zach is like, I'm not in linen because I'm not rich to buy a linen suit. And like, he didn't care to dress up for the country theme that we had, so whatever. I love that Zach is kind of like the poor one of the group. He's just like the poor gay hanger-on who's like, this is from H&M. And I say that as someone wearing an H&M shirt right now.
I love H&M, but goddamn, it's so uncomfortable. And I don't really love it. You know what? I lost some weight this year, so I was finally able to go to H&M because I was never able to go in there before. And like literally they would beat me out. They'd be like, get out. No, but I was able to go there and I bought some clothes from there. I have to say, I've been looking in their windows for many years being like, I want to shop in there. Not comfortable. You guys need to work on your comfort level. And also aim your seams better. The seams aren't correct.
Seams are a little, the seams are a
and
little
also
off.
all the pants are so short because I think trendy guys really like short pants still.
But you know what they call those short pants? Capri pants.
Yeah.
It all
That's
comes back to
true.
Capri.
Full circle.
I love Capris.
So then Danny is like, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to perform a double pike 180 sailor dive because he's going to pretend like he's going to jump into the pool. And they're like, no, Danny, this isn't your house, Danny. Wacky Danny.
So now Kristen and Luke are worried about the night. And Luke's like, I'm really hoping for peace. You know, I hope I don't have to go up against Ruben Studdard again. He was really really competition for me. And Kristen's like,
Oh, Michelle and Jesse are hosting this, so I want to make sure that I could just have a quick conversation with Michelle. I'm sure it's going to be fine. I mean, I'm showing up to their party in Birkenstocks. Who's going to get mad?
So now Zach is at the party. Zach is talking to Janet about Kristen, and he's like, Kristen took like 9 different conversations and put them all together. And Janet's like, yeah, tonight I really need her to admit that she fully mixed this up by saying exactly what we said. That was so wrong of her.
So they see her come in. They're like, oh, no. And Janet says, great. I'm sure she's going to come up like nothing's wrong. And Kristen's saying hello to people and asking where Michelle is. And
by the way, my favorite
Jesse's
thing.
like,
my favorite thing is when people do that, when they're like, she's going to walk in like nothing is wrong. Watch. Because if you walk in like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, they're like, oh my God, what an attitude. She just walked in with an attitude. But then if you walk in trying to be polite, it's like, oh, she's acting like nothing happened. It's like you just can't win in those situations.
Yeah. Okay, so what happens next?
Jesse goes, you know, I think Michelle has a pretty tough skin, even though she sucks. Sorry, that's my wife I'm talking about. But coming from a first generation, half Persian, half Mexican, whose father escaped Iran because of religious persecution, to be labeled a racist is just absurd. Call her what she really is. Stupid. My wife. Sorry. That's how I talk sexy to her.
So Kristen asks Michelle to talk, and she's like, maybe later. So the group is going to yell at you, and then we can have a one-on-one. No apologies until you get publicly flogged, okay? So now they go sit at this big, long table for their big Italian meal. And Jax is like, thank you, Jesse. Thanks for having us all here. This is about as close to Italy as you're going to get, sweetheart. Right, Brittany? Right, Brittany?
Hey, Ronnie, could you do the, I have someone at my door. Could you do Brittany, a Brittany interlude, please, for a moment?
Sure.
Well, I just wanted to say something. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic from which it stands. Nothing is Jackson's fault. He didn't do nothing.
So Jax starts eating pasta. Look, I was going to say Jax starts eating pasta the way that you think Jax would start eating pasta, but I would think that Jax would start just snorting the pasta up like he's doing a version of Lady and the Tramp with just himself and his nose. But he doesn't. He's much classier about it. He starts eating spaghetti with his fingers because he's Jax, pretty much. So everyone sits down and they all start to eat. And Michelle's like, wow, do you think this is the most civil everybody will ever be in the same spot together? And Janet's like, I don't think she realizes how seriously mad I am. Brittany's like, oh, don't worry, I told her about it, so she knows. And Janet's like, I didn't respond to any text messages. Did anybody else respond to text messages? And they're like, no, we didn't either. And I love that they're avoiding Kristen like she's a Republican. It's kind of funny, actually, when you think about it. So Janet's like, it's unbelievable. Kristen can ignore even the most obvious of tensions and scenarios and pretend like nothing is wrong.
Hi, sorry about that, Jay.
Subtle return, Ben. Subtle return, okay? Jeez. What kind of landing was that?
I just get so excited, you know. Sorry about that.
It's okay, yeah. So Janet's saying, yeah, it's just annoying to see everybody flippantly ignoring what Kristen did and what's really happening here. Dun, dun, dun. And then we see Kristen cracking up at something. She's like, oh, that was hilarious.
So Michelle's like, it's one thing to have a conversation with somebody, but it's like another thing to actually listen. Janet's like,
and you know what? You don't have to listen to anything that gays say if we get these laws passed, because they're not allowed to say anything.
If you don't say gay, then you don't have to listen to the word gay. So really, you should be in favor of it if you don't like listening to things. So Kristen's like, excuse me, does this feel like inappropriate at a dinner table? And Janet's like, I mean, to be honest, I missed the last time we were all together, but a lot happened. Namely, that I got some McDonald's. But other than that, I personally would like to know what happened with you guys while I was eating my Big Mac.
And so Michelle's like, yeah, I think everybody's involved now, so we should speak publicly, because I'm tired of she said, Turtlehead said.
So if we're all at one table, then we can all be on the same page. And Janet goes, I agree. Kristen decided at Michelle's to say that I said that Michelle was racist, which I have never thought in my life. Like, why would I have to think something that is just like evidence, right? So let alone, I would never even say that out loud. And I don't know where that came from, but I'm also like disgusted by it, Kristen.
Well, I love that she's just keeping it racist. You noticed?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, where's all the homophobic stuff? I like that they're just like, let's just pin on the stuff that we didn't actually say, so we don't have to talk about the other stuff in this episode, you know?
Yeah.
It feels tailored, okay? Which, unlike all of your clothes in this episode, it feels tailored. So, by the way, you'd like that I'm suddenly a tailoring snob. I'm an Old Navy queen. I don't tailor
I know,
clothes. Come on, guys.
The H&M seems, I have a sewing class. I have my first stretch sewing class after this. I'm going to be learning how to sew sweatshirts and leggings. So I'm in a sewing state of mind today as well.
Well, you costume Kristen. Okay, so then they start talking about this. So Janet's like, yeah, Kristen decided at Michelle's to say that I said that Michelle was racist, which I've never thought in my life. And so Kristen's like, it came from Zach. And Zach's like, it did not come from me, Kristen. Hold on, I'm going to hide behind this tree. Michelle, I did not say that. I did not.
Zach, you left your hair at the table. So, Zach is like, Kristen held all this information and got all of it like completely mixed up. And like, you want to talk about a shit stew? Like, there was no recipe. She was just like grabbing numbers out like they were fucking in the Powerball. So I don't.
You need to get your metaphors together.
They're metaphors.
What is shit stew coming out of the Powerball machine? Like, my brain can't take it. It's too much.
She was making shit stew while she was in her bus racing to get her Powerball ticket and ran us all over at the marathon.
So he goes, I think this is still him. Who's this saying? The game of telephone was the Janet to Jasmine to Zach to me and to Luke. So you're like telling Jasmine that she should be, I guess this is Kristen. You're telling Jasmine that she should be cautious of Michelle because she's a quote unquote Republican. And what Zach insinuated at my house to Luke and I was that would equal racism and homophobia or whatever. So Jasmine's like, you better take my name out of this because I never had a conversation with this one, Kristen, about anybody or at this table ever. So I'm upset about that.
And she says, you know, she's experienced racism, and to have a friend just throw it out lightly like that, it's like not fair. And it's not fair for Michelle. It's not fair for her and for the whole group. And then Zach is like, I've known Michelle for a while. She is not homophobic, and I love her to pieces. And I really hate that, unfortunately, this got said by me to Kristen.
It's totally him. It is totally him. So Kristen's like, well, I just want to immediately apologize to Michelle because I felt cornered and I should not have said those things out loud, especially at your home. And Jesse's like, just say that you lied. Call it a lie and don't call it anything else. And she's like, I did not lie. And so Luke's like, you better calm down, mister. And so now the guys are going at it.
Excuse me.
And
No, calm down. Excuse me. Calm down. Yeah.
And Luke's like, this literal sack of shit that twisted Kristen's nipple. Now he's attacking Kristen.
Oh, he's like, he wasn't there. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. That's strike 2. And those are big strikes. So Jesse,
can we not bring up the 3 strikes law while we're talking about Republicans? Okay. Like, you guys need to decide whether we're going to talk about politics or whether we're not going to talk about politics. Okay?
Michelle's like, I'm allowed to stand my ground. So Jesse seems. So Jesse's like, you do not tell me to calm down. Luke says, yeah, but you're getting too damn aggressive because I'm going to yell at you for being aggressive. And he's like, you do not tell me. And Luke goes, anyway, you shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and Luke's like, if you're going to talk to me, we can go right now. And Jesse's like, oh, okay. Oh, Kristen, you're a fucking liar. You walk into my house. And she's like, oh, I was just trying to. And Jesse's like, you shut the fuck up, Kristen. So Luke stands up in his chair and he's threatening Jess. They're very manly. It's very like, pointing, I'm a man. I'm going to beat you up. And it's like, I'm a man. I'm going to throw a ball and catch it.
I'm a man. I'm a man. I go to sleep with a headband on the back of my head. So, just like, sit your fucking ass down right now. You fucking lied. And Lucas, apologize. Don't come at her. And then Jax is like, this is not going to work. Jax looking the best he's looked in years with these 2 idiots.
Yeah. So then, now where does this go? So Jax is like, I don't think this is working. Yeah. And Michelle says, well, she's not saying the truth. And Jesse says, well, she's not saying anything. She's dancing around it. And he goes, but how do you know, guys? How do you know she's not telling the truth? And Michelle's like, because they're the ones saying it.
I feel like Kristen was like trying to apologize, but like no one was listening to her and she couldn't do anything right. And it's unfortunate to see. So I feel like her making an effort and like when nothing was productive was going to come from it. So Janet's like, well, it's changed everything. Like, I don't like it. And Kristen's like, I was like, I don't trust a word that comes out of your mouth. But I didn't make it up. It came from Zach. It came from Zach.
So then Kristen turns into this victim. Then this turns into the Kristen victim monologue where she's like, I mean, let's be honest. Given my past, I'm a pretty easy target. And then we see a clip of Kristen just going crazy over the years. And, oh, no.
Well, her falling over.
No, I'm sorry. I thought this was her faith moment, but this isn't her faith moment.
No, not
so
that.
She's
no,
talking
this is just her non-problematic, wild behavior. Suck a dick, right. Diana.
Yeah, this is the good old fashioned problematic. So her falling over she's saying, you know, I guess I'm just so honest, you know, which is this is like classic Kristen, by the way. Like everyone's just mad at me because I'm just. At heart, I'm the most honest person here. I just love honesty so much.
You know what? Zach knows that. He fibbed, and he knows that I'm right. I wasn't always this way, but now I'm just a walking truth serum. Caw. And yeah, it might rub people the wrong way, but here I am. Take it or leave it. Truth serum, driving a bus during a marathon.
And then Janet's like, but if you thought that I thought Michelle was racist, why wouldn't you call me? Why the fuck would I call you if you thought Michelle was racist? That doesn't make any sense. What do I care if you think that she's racist? I'm just gossiping. Like, I have to call everybody I gossip about. Give me a fucking break, McDonald's.
So Jason's like, yeah, why not call Janet? I'm here too. So Kristen's like, well then, Zach, I wish you hadn't brought it to my front door to try to make Janet look bad.
And Janet's like, he didn't. It was all on you, Kristen. And Jesse's like, yeah, well, I wish you didn't bring it to my front door. And Luke goes, you mean from Zach? So then Luke's like, okay, so you're just saying she shouldn't have brought it up at all? And now Jesse's screaming and pounding the table. He's like, everybody shut the fuck up. Michelle's gonna talk. And Luke, don't you talk to me that way again. Here's what I have to say. Thanks, Obama. Take it over, Michelle.
Zach has said he did not say that. Janet said she did not say that. I believe that everybody in this table would not be my friend if they thought that. And Kristen goes, I don't think that, Michelle.
She goes, but that's not what I said, Kristen.
So Zach's like, well, I don't know how it became like I said that Janet said that because it's like completely not the truth. But what I will tell you is if you call someone a Republican in LA, that's a death sentence. That is social suicide. You better be on the DL if you're a Republican because you are not getting invited to anything.
That's probably very true. And by the way, our friend Neil, who has the Past Present podcast, he has a book that literally, today was the pub day. It literally is arriving today, hit bookshelves today, called Coming Out Republican, which is a book about gay Republicans. So if this is something that is interesting to you, go check out Neil's book. God.
And I think that that's actually a good example of what we're talking about, like being canceled for being Republican or whatever. Because I see that on his Instagram and I'm like, oh, I cringe every time. I'm like, oh, Neil, no. Because it looks like Neil's like, I'm a gay Republican, you know, because he has like a real conservative haircut and he's just like this white blonde guy. He's like, I wrote a book about coming out Republican. It looks like he's coming out Republican. And it just goes to show you that what they're saying is true because I see that and I'm like, oh, Neil, no, don't do it. You in danger, girl.
Well, I can assure you that Neil is definitely not a Republican. But if it's something that you're interested in, go check out Neil's book, everyone. Support
we love
other
that
women.
guy.
We love Neil.
We love Neil. Congratulations on the new project. So
Jesse says, he's like, you disrespected my family name. I'm like, maybe you also did that when you twisted Kristen's nipple. I'm not sure. He's like, we have a business that we run together. You know, if something like that gets out, you're ruining lives, the lives of two realtors.
Oh God, it's another red scare, you know?
Yeah.
It's like the Republicans are red. That's funny. I've never thought of it that way.
Michelle's like, not only that, and he just holds up his hand and goes, hold on. Like, okay, Michelle, please. I'm talking about you. You don't get to talk, okay? You were thrown off the fucking show for being an actual racist, Kristen. What did you call me? Which I was like, wow, he went there. But of course he would go there. It's sort of funny that the show is acknowledging it, but this is now where the Valley acknowledges Kristen's role in her controversy.
Yeah, we knew they had to in some way. It's interesting. This is the way they did it. And it was all kind of caused by Kristen. Like, dumb. So basically she's like, well, I know that I made a mistake by roping Michelle into something, but Jesse's just trying to ruin my name by bringing up the most painful thing that I've ever gone through. And this is where it's like the Kristen kind of victim moment.
Yeah, Kristen.
And she starts talking about how she was canceled. So Jesse's like, but did you not, Kristen? Is it not a true statement? And Luke is like, we're going to go. This isn't true. And so Kristen has a monologue saying like, I understand why Michelle's upset. It's the worst thing in the world to be labeled as anything, let alone a racist. And nobody knows better than me because it happened to me and I was canceled.
It was probably the hardest time of my life when I was called out for behavior that could have sent someone to jail. And yeah, I'm not proud of what I did. I'm sorry that I hurt people, but I've learned from my mistakes. There are my friends sitting there, and they know my past, and all I wanted to do is pick up the pieces and move on with my life, be a good person. It's like the people finally gave me a chance again, and now it's like it's brought up all over again, and I'm going to have to relive it again. Hope that my life doesn't fall apart again. Oh, Marabasa. It's like, okay, ma'am.
And then we see the headlines, June 7th, 2020. Kristen Doute apologizes to former co-star Faith Stowers. June 7th, again, Kristen Doute says she's learning about unconscious bias after firing, which I thought was kind of funny only because that's just what Trishelle said after her. She's like, I'm going to look into some unconscious bias classes. So I guess that's just what people tell you to say.
What you do. Yeah.
Once you're called a racist, that's like how you redeem yourself. So all the stuff that happened with Faith, I will say at that time, I remember when that went down because that was anti-Jax and not really Jax. I mean, Jax got the least of it, but it was mostly Kristen and Stassi because they went on, wasn't it on Bitch Bible that Stassi went on Bitch Bible and was talking about how they hate Faith and they know Faith does all this terrible stuff because Kristen found a video of Faith wearing a jacket that she stole from Logan. Wasn't it Logan?
It was some story. It was some story that was like along the lines of like someone was stealing things.
She was robbing like rich men, something like that. Like they were accusing Faith of being this woman who was the police were looking for, and there was video footage of this woman and that the police were looking for that was robbing men or something. And they were like, I know it's Faith because she's been stealing stuff. Everybody was accusing Faith of stealing stuff. Right. And so Kristen and Stassi like called the FBI or something or called the police and tried to turn in Faith.
Right. Which is like, they were like clearly acting. It's like, okay, just because there's like a video of a black woman, it's like, doesn't mean that like, therefore, Faith's black. It's probably her. You know, it was really, really bad. And
it was bad.
You know, and like
it happened a while before that.
Yeah, it happened. It didn't even happen at this time. Faith brought it up at that time, and like obviously very irresponsible. Aside from the fact that it was profiling, but it's like it's irresponsible, and you know, like it could be a very dangerous situation for a black woman, and as we've seen from people like Sandra Bland, etc. So it was really, really bad.
And it was also just the constant coming after someone publicly who was barely even on the show. I mean, Faith was hardly even on that show.
There was a fixation. They were all fixated. I mean, that, like I said before, they were talking about, like Lala was talking about Faith at that pool, and she was saying the same things. Well, Faith's stealing things or whatever. But Lala didn't call the cops on Faith. Lala was just like, whatever, Faith is sketchy. Because, by the way, Faith can still be sketchy, but calling the cops on Faith for this thing, I mean, I don't know. I don't have to get into it all over again. But yeah, Kristen was
they didn't really get into it on the show. So, I mean, for those of you who don't remember or whatever, that's basically what happened. And so they were all basically fired from the show. And then they recast the show for the next season, and then those guys all got fired for racism stuff too. Max and
the other guy,
the other guy's name. Who I mean, my God, that show like. So anyway, after all that happened, Faith has given interviews since then, and from what I understand, she said that she forgives Kristen because like Kristen did have Kristen was just like, I'm sorry, like I did it, guilty. You know,
and I feel like her role in it was like a little smaller, right? I think, or like I felt like it wasn't. I don't know. I'm not trying to let her off.
She was the one who was like, "This is the woman on this video footage that I saw on the news or whatever." But yeah, so that's basically what happened with that. So now they're bringing it back up and throwing it in her face, which of course, I mean, they're going to do. The thing is, she's saying like, I understand how this would affect other people, but then she's kind of doing it to those people as well. But I really need Michelle to be asked the question about that "Don't Say Gay" law, because
that's what that's ultimately what it comes down to for me, is that like I would love to know what the deal is, because that's so bad. It's so bad to say that "Don't Say Gay" protects children, because it does not. I don't know how that would protect children, especially like, and if we're concerned about like societal things protecting children, how about we start like banning all sorts of other things? Because, by the way, drag queens are the least of the issues. But I mean, I'm not advocating for things to be banned. The point is that the hypocrisy of this, that there's lots of other hideous, toxic influences on children that no one cares about. What about putting this energy towards guns? How about that? Because guess what? That's my issue. But you know what? We don't need to get political on this show any more than we already have. That was the end of the episode. It's a to be continued. Really good. Really, really good. I can't wait to see how this all plays out. Thanks, everyone, for listening and for being here. Thank you, Mrs. Kravitz, for listening in. And we will catch you all on the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Strolling the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
She's never scary. It's the Green Fairy.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know your worth with Jason Kurth.
She's the wind beneath our Jennifer Wing.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying. It's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. We want to hang with Liz Lang. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches. Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides. We forever love Ava.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. We got our wish. It's Jen Plish.
She's not harsh. She's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie.
My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly. It's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
She's the queen bee. It's Sarah Lemke.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.